Everybody welcome. בעזרת השם יהיה לנו בזכות הלימוד הזה הצלחה ברכה לעם ישראל. כל החטופים והחטופות תחזרו לשלום לבתיכם בעזרת השם, וגם את החיילים והחיילות שהקדוש ברוך הוא תחזירם לשלום לבתיכם בשמחה וטוב לבבכם. Thank you very much. So we continue. אלינו נשמת מורי אבי אהרון בן אסתר רוח השם תנחנו בגן עדן הוא וכל השוכנים עמו בכלל רחמים והסליחות וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן. We're on page נ"ט, we continue on אוצרות חיים, הקדמה למרחו. Rav Chaim Vital is given הקדמה, which is means introduction. It's what's happening, what we're supposed to be do, how we're supposed to be act. We have to, the most important thing is the midot, which is means characters and traits. We have to work on it. So also this limud, I said this many times, this type of lesson or this type of learning, many people say, many chachamim said, a person should learn Torah for lo lishma, which just means not for the beginning of the learner. He could be called as a rabbi or getting paychecks or he's being many things. That's called learning for the sake of himself. A lot of chachamim, according to the Kabbalah, the only cause not to be taken for his own sake, for the sake of heavens, it's only sake of when a person learning Kabbalah. That's considered sake of the heavens. Sur Mira. I'm continuing over here. Sur Mira, Daf Nun Tet. Sur Mira, we're supposed to be run from the bad. Run from the bad. Lizair bechol dugdege mitzvot lo ta'aseh. We have to be very pinpointed, which is we have to be known at mitzvot lo ta'aseh, which is means negative mitzvot. Afilu divrei chachamim shu bichlal lo ta'asur. Even the biglal chachamim, also the chachamim, which is means the part that we have to also careful of the mitzvot of the chachamim. Litaken ma'od kodem shiavo leolam haba. Litaken ma'od kodem shiavo leolam haba. So a person, before he's going to get to the olam haba, which is meaning a share in the world to come, he needs to make sure he's going to fix whatever he did a sin in this world. Yizayer michas. A person, I'm on the page Nun Tet. We have to be careful getting angry. So a person, when I'm going to say to people, be careful not to get angry, it's not going to happen. He needs to have to learn not to get angry. Make sure the rabbi is going to teach him not to get angry. So anger does not just become in the two words, don't get angry. Okay? Afilu basha mochiach et banav lo yichos klal ve'ikar. Rav Chaim Vital over here says, even he gets angry and his kids, he should not get angry at all. Because anger makes a person, through the mitzvot, it brings the nefesh ruach neshama chaya yichida to himself. So it's very important. He says, when a person gets angry, what's happening? When a person gets angry, the nefesh ruach neshama, part of the nefesh ruach neshama, is which is the part of the soul, it runs away from him. Gam tzarich lizayer migava. A person has to be careful from the gava. So what's the gava? We have to learn, of course, orchot tzadikim. What means gava? Gava, which is means vaigba lebo badarkei Hashem. When we go in the path of Hashem, we need to have a gava. So listen, I'm rebuking somebody or I'm doing something. It's called gava, right? A lot of people I saw from the business people, they say, "Oh, Rabbi, this gava. I said, "No, I'm sorry. That's not the way you say it. You need to learn what means gava. We have to learn what means according to Chachamim. If some Chacham rebuke or he didn't like the businessman, right? The businessman right away says he has a gava. Get rid of him. It's not gava. He has to learn what means gava. So this is, you have to learn with your own rabbeim, which just means they have to teach all these things with the characters of traits. גם צריך להיזהר מגאווה בפרט בעניין הלכה, כי גדול כוחו, גאווה בזה עוון פלילי. The more person is growing, and he says halacha and all these things, right? He could make a sin also in the other side. What people say, a lot of people say, I bring a lot of people tshuva, repentance. How many people did you push away also with your tshuva? This has to be, a person has to be very smart, knowledgeable. He has to learn, like Baal Shem Tov students, he has to learn, very important, Chovat HaLevavot, 1,000 times they learn, 1,000. We learn one time, we're already getting tired, we learned it already, we know it already, we don't know it, we learn it, until it's not going to become part of our life. like Rav Steinman, עליו השלום. גם צריך להיזהר מגאווה כלל, אוקיי? בכל צער שיבוא לו, יפשפש במעשיו וישוב אל השם. עוד ה'. He says, anything that will come towards him, tsar, which just means pain and suffering, he needs to lipashpesh b'ma'asav v'yashuv el Hashem. He needs to make sure that he's going to look what the wrong things that he's doing. I saw something in the Masechet Barachot in page 5 in an art scroll. He brings the Vilna Gaon. Rabbi Yochanan says, if a person isurim ba'im alav, the negativity come to him, what he should do, mishpashpesh b'ma'asav. What does it mean, mishpashpesh b'ma'asav? He should look at his deed, whatever he's doing wrong. Vilna Gaon is asking a question. He says, Tilmat Torah, learn Torah. To the learning Torah, you would know the difference where you're making a mistake, where you're not making a mistake. If a person does not learning, a person does not see he's something doing wrong. By learning, the Torah would tell him. The Rabbi Yochanan says, Toleh b'Torah, bitul Torah, which just means you make the zman, which just means you nullify the time that you're supposed to be learning and you're not learning. Vilna Gaon says like this, you would know, by learning Torah, you would know where is the mistakes a person makes. Okay? Gam yitvol ba'ed tzorech lo. So also a person should go to mikvah. It's very important. Gam yikadesh etzmo batashmish mitah shelo yaneh. Same thing he says when a person have mitzvah with his wife, he should not have pleasure. Pleasure only comes afterwards. So what does it mean? So the first mitzvah he needs to make 3 dvarim. Ona'ah, ksod, v'sheira. Ona'ah, which just means a person, when he has a mitzvah, he needs to do like a chov, that he needs to pay repayment. That's why he says ona'ah is from the Torah language. With the ayin. Shelo ya'avor kol halayla v'yachshov b'chol layla ma yaseh bayom v'yitvadeh alav. Shelo ya'avor kol halayla v'yachshov b'chol layla ma yaseh bayom she'yitvadeh alav. So he says, Shelo ya'avor kol halayla. The person should not go through his day and to say at nighttime when it comes to sleep, okay, my day went fine. It's called in English, it's called, he needs to think like a couple minutes to say what they did wrong, what they did right before he goes to sleep. Very important. You said somebody to somebody not good. Somebody told you not good. It's all these things are matters for the person. גם ימעט בעסקיו, ואם אין לו פרנסה, כי על ידי מעשה מתן יכין יום שלישי ורביעי מחצי יום ואילך. ואם אין לו פרנסה, כי אם על ידי מלאכה יעסק מלאכה, שלישי או רביעי 4 שעות מחצי יום למטה. He says a person, if he has a parnasa, does not have a parnasa, how long you should work? Maybe 1/3 of the day, 1/3 of the day. You know, but the Rambam says a person should not work more than 8 hours, right? We're pushing the pedal when we say Rabbeinu Bachye brings over there that how much a person is supposed to be work. I'm supposed to be work a lot. I'm supposed to be work less. Again, it's everything. It depends. Kol echad b'mikre b'gufo. Everything it depends on a person. You cannot. But usually people work tremendously, right? Or spend a lot of time on work and not learning, right? They have for everything else, they have time. But when it comes to the Torah, they don't have a time. They just make an excuse. On Yeshua, they could sit for 4 hours. You know, they could do it because next time something has shalom happen to him, he needs to come that person to him. That's what we're working on, right? Kavanah shu le'avodot kono. Also, we have to, when we're working, also we have to bring the parnasa. So we're working for Hashem, bringing the parnasa. Should not forget when we were doing parnasa, which just means giving substance to our family. Okay, we're doing so many mitzvot. Don't think when we're going to work, oh no, it's just a burden. I have to go to work. It's not happy. No, you're supposed to be happy. You're not stealing. You're making clean money, and that's part of the working. That's part of the olam kinahagon nohag. Our world is continual. Of course, if the Hashem is blessing him, that he could zocheh l'shtei shulchanot, it's called in Gemara. He able to merit 2 tables. Olam hazeh, in this world, is able to spend all his time learning, but he has money. And olam haba, he has 2 shulchanot. Lo kol echad zocheh l'shtei shulchanot. Not everybody merit to have 2 tables. Even Rabbi HaKadosh had two tables, which just means he was rich in this world. But he passed away, Masechet Ketubot 104, he passed away, he took out his 10 fingers, says, I had no enjoyment for everything no enjoyment. Not that he did not want enjoyment. He's just Rabbi HaKadosh. You understand? So everybody over here, Baruch Hashem, Rabbi HaKadosh, Kol dibur she'eno mitzvah v'achrachi yeh zeru mimeh. Afilu davar mitzvah yimna b'shat atfilah. ועשה טוב לקום בחצות לילה לעשות סדר בשק והאפר בכי גדול. So a person should wake up in the middle of the night, ועשה טוב, לקום בחצות לילה, which means today in the winter time is 11:52. 11:52 we wake up at night time, or Alot HaShachar today is 6:14, it depends which calendar you take, right? 6:19 was according to Rav Israeli. So you wake up 5:30, you cry for Bet HaMikdash. Why you cry for the Bet HaMikdash? Because you have a house, you have everything, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not have a house. So what we do, we put a sack. Sack means, means cloth, you put it over here. Sack also Gematria 400. Esav sent 400 soldiers to Yaakov Avinu, and those 400 soldiers, the Zohar says, Arba Meot, Tuma, he sent them the Tuma. Al Yedeh sack, which means the cloth that you wear over here, okay? It's a little bit itchy. You wear it over here, sack. You nullify the Esav, 400 kochot. The Kohen Gadol, Bad, if you're going to take the Otiot, Bet Dalit, but Atbash is going to be sack. It's a cloth. And like this, you're able to nullify and you cry for the Bet HaMikdash, like it says Baba Batra Dav Samech. Over there, that's the only place that it says. I'm going to get to it. So you take a mattress, you burn the mattress, you put the mattress not in your forehead, no. You put it where the tefillin. The tefillin over here you put, and you thinking about of the Srifat Torah, which means the Torah is burned in the Bet HaMikdash. That's what afterwards, make sure it's not going to be chatzitza between the tefillin. Very important, we need to wash this off. It's no big deal. You put the afar, you make it, and you put it, and you put a sack, and you cry for the Bet HaMikdash, Tikkun Rachel, Veleya. Except Shabbos, Shabbat and Yom Tov, Chol HaMoed you don't do it, depends which Chol HaMoed, you have Chol HaMoed Sukkah, and you have Chol HaMoed Pesach. Very important, that also gives a lot of person kochot, strength, and a power. Don't think you're going to be tired. The reason is a person is tired, I explained this before. The only reason is person tired because he did not prepare himself at nighttime. That's why he's tired. He's like, yeah, he can wake up. All these excuses because during the day also he did not prepare his soul properly to give the pikadon. Pikadon, which means, איך אומרים pikadon? Deposit to the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, our neshama. Okay? Daytime, which is he spoke negative. Now at nighttime the angels is judging him. So they're going upstairs in the court. That's why he wakes up. Oh, he can't wake up. He's all tired because he's been judged at nighttime. But basically they're beating him. That's why he wakes up. What's the word that we use? We beat up. How can you be beat up? You just woke up.
He didn't self-rectify at night.
Right.
Rectified himself.
Right. Okay. Let's go for it. It's doable. We just have to do it. That's why in the Kabbalah says we're all learning, right? We're just learning the sugim, everything like that. The Kabbalah, which means Kabbalah, is which in Hebrew, which means receipts. No, Kabbalah over here means receiving and doing it. That's why it's a job. It's not just sitting and just eating popcorn and sitting and watching the rabbis taking us picture. Ubechi gadol, and he says, make sure we also cry. If somebody cannot cry, make sure he's going to do it with the tears. Okay, the voice of the tears. כוונה כל אשר יצא בשפתיו, אחר כך יעסק בתורה כל זמן שיכול להיות בלי שינה. A person should do as much as without sleeping. בלבד חצי שעה קודם עלות השחר יתעורר לעוסק בתורה. Like our rabbi does it, half hour before עלות השחר, which is 5 o'clock if you guys wake up, right? I'm surprised what do you guys do, 5 o'clock, people on the phones. Utilizing this time, this is the best time to learn. And this is the best time before the prayer. What are you doing? You're wasting it. You understand? And I said this mashal many times, Masechet Gitin, that over there it says the Shlomo HaMelech, when he wants the Ashmakai to king, he says, bring it to me, I want to build the Bet HaMikdash, I want this in the 68, right? It says over there in Gitin. And the guy is juggling over there. The Satan is laughing. Why are you juggling? He says, why are you juggling? He says, underneath it, there's so many gold and diamonds, and this guy is sitting entertaining people. He says, what is he entertaining? Instead of him digging downstairs, he's sitting. Same thing is over here. We have time. Time is very important. Time boged. Time, we cannot return it, and it just passed. And this is our life. We're zorkim chayim. We're throwing life. It's not just the time. We're not getting younger. Correct? continue. כל זמן להיות בלי שינה, בלבד שחצי שעה קודם עלות השחר יתעורר לעוסק בתורה. ילך לבית כנסת קודם עלות השחר. The best thing is go to בית כנסת before עלות השחר, which is today. It's easy today. 5:30 in the morning until 6 o'clock is considered before the עלות השחר. קודם חיוב, okay? קודם חיוב טלית ותפילין. So before you're going to be תפילין וציצית, before it's going to be חיוב, which is the time coming. Before. קודם חיוב תפילין. קודם. להיזהר שיהיה מעשרה ראשונים. A person has to be careful, 10 first ones. קודם ייכנס לבית כנסת, ישים על ליבו מצוות עשה ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Afterwards we have to do ואהבת לרעך כמוך. זה מצווה עשה מן התורה. So we have to love each other, right? That we not supposed to be lip service. I love this. It's not true. להשלים רמז צדיק בכל יום. So a person has to be very careful. להשלים בכל יום צדיק. Remember we said person is a tzaddik. This is a tzaddik, right? We don't know what we're saying, but shehu tzaddik aminim. We have to do 90 aminim. 4 kedushot. Okay? 10 kadishim, which is means 10 kadishim. ו10 100 barachot and 100 barachot. שלא יסיח דעת מתפילין בעת תפילה. Would not siach דעת, which is means that tefillin is all the time. It has to be שם השם. וקרא עליך זולת כעת עמידה ועוסק בתורה. This is all the time. It has to be continue learning Torah. צריך שיהיה עוסק בתורה מעטף בתפילין וציצית. When he's learning, make sure he's learning all day with tefillin וציצית. Okay, Rabbi Jones? So each one of you go get yourselves a tefillin, separate when you're learning, unless the body you cannot keep clean. That gives also mochin, which just means intellect. After the person finished praying, whatever you grab in that praying, that gone, that's it. After the second Bet HaMikdash, we cannot keep this with us after. But the tefillin, able to keep that with us all day. Part, not everything, but that tefillin. Which tefillin I should wear? The best way tefillin to wear, Rabbeinu Tam. That's the best way to wear Rabbeinu Tam. Separate. I have my own Rabbeinu Tam. Separate from the prayer, so I don't forget. I forgot in the car. This you put it. You all day. Yeah, that's what the tzaddikim did. All day. That's what they did. It's actually you bring in intellect. Unless you can't keep your body clean and everything, ask your local rabbi. He would explain to you, which is means. Well, if you're gonna ask your local rabbi, he's gonna say, if I don't do it, why would you do it? Don't do these things. Okay. So let's go forward. I heard everything. There's nothing I haven't heard yet. Okay? So if you see something like this, run away. וכן בתפילה, okay, בתפילה בכוונה, my rabbi also said, each one of us have our own olam haba. That rabbi has his own olam haba. This rabbi has. Each one of us, the more mitzvot we do, the more olam haba. And people a lot of times will say, this rabbi did not do. Listen to me. He could do whatever you want to do. I'm not in his olam haba. He's on my own olam haba. You understand? So let's go forward. זין, צריך שיהיה עוסק בתורה מיוטב וסרט, לכוון בתפילה בכוונה כמו שכתוב בעזרת השם. So we have to do תפילה, which means the prayer, right? At least, פשט, שולחן ערוך, סימן ה'. It says, at least a person cannot do it every time. הריני מגלי דעתי שמעתי ועד מחר. He needs to read this. בכל פעם שיזכיר שם אדנות המברך תהיה קמתי אדון הכל. When I say ברוך אתה ברrrr, you don't even know when to answer amen. Baruch Ata Hashem. Where are you running? He's a melech malchei malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're speaking to Hashem. We're not speaking to our dear friend. If a king comes in, Sleepy Joe right now, what are you going to tell him? You're going to speak fast, quick? No. You're going to be all nervous. Over here, melech malchei malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu tiheh kamati adon hakol. Yachid miyuchad. You have to think, Baruch Ata Hashem. He's the only one. כשנכתב הוויה ברוך הוא, when we're thinking about Baruch Ata Hashem, okay, שנזכר בעדנות, תהיה קמתי היה ובהיה, he was, he will, and he will be. We need to think like this, okay? אדון הכל יהיה מיוחד, שאזכיר שם אלוהות יתברך, קבעתי שר המושל. Hashem is אלוקינו. He's controller of everything. תקיף, strong, בעל יכולת. He does everything, nothing goes besides הקדוש ברוך הוא. בעל הכוחות כולם, everything, every strength, every power, אפילו, even, כישופים, sorceries that does, במפעלה, מהחיש של המפעלה שלמעלה. אין עוד מלבדו. In the pasuk in Dvarim 4:35 it says, there's nothing besides Hashem. Even that kishur which means sorcery or whatever, Hashem gives the power. אין עוד מלבדו. הוא עשה הכל. If we think every time, simple kavanah, we're not talking about Kabbalah, we're talking about Shulchan Aruch, Siman 5. We're not talking about Kabbalah going in the depths, Baruch Atah Hashem, what does it mean? 100 pages just to have to learn about Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, she'akol elo b'ri pri adama. It's 100 pages just to learn, Adat matbei baracha. You say, oh Rabbi, it's not for me. You know why? Because it's not my level. So when is your level? When you're going to learn? Okay, make sure if we don't say every time Baruch Atah Hashem, train yourself. Baruch Atah Hashem, have in mind, Hayav v'yeh, Elokeinu, ba'al yecholet, ba'al hakochot kulam. If a person not able to do it, you read this in the morning one time, and like this you fulfill the... Huh?
I read that.
But make sure if you're going to have in mind, if you have in mind every time, is the best thing to do. Okay? Shishim, okay, שעשים תמיד נגד השם, okay, נגד עיניו שם השם 4 אותיות הוויה, והזדעזע ממנו. He says every time, these people came into me, a couple of people in yeshiva, and they said, give me shiviti Hashem le'negdei tamid, write down. I said, according to Allah, it's a big problem, because you could misplace it. Ovadia, Rav Palaji have a big problem of writing Pitum HaKtoret on a cloth. So it says, according to Zohar, we're supposed to be writing the Pitum HaKtoret. Pitum HaKtoret also helps for magifah, negativity, sicknesses, and everything is around. Parnasa, okay, this also helps. So let's go forward. So it says, every time we need to have in our mind, Shiviti Hashem le'negdei tamid v'yizda'zeh mimenu, when he's supposed to be tremble. When he's da'zeh, which means we should shake. K'mo shekatuv Shiviti Hashem le'negdei tamid. We need to have Hashem in front of us all the time. Sheichavem b'chol birkat haneinin. So if a person wants to have his Kabbalah to be opening, make sure we're going to have everything that we eat, or everything we're going to make a baracha. Rabbi Chaim Vital Arizal all the time told him, you want to have Ruach HaKodesh, future understanding of the spirituality, make sure you do the barachot properly, and you're going to have a kavanah, which just means concentration when you say the barachot. That would open for the person another ma'ayan, which just means another river of understanding. Okay? צריך שיהיה כל עמל בתורה בפרדס. A person should all the time should finish Pardes through the day. Pardes, which is means Prashat, Remesh, Drush, Sod. Right? So that's why the Arizal puts Yesh Naye Doresh, Yesh Naye Mikayem. Arizal, that's why he puts Chok Israel. In Chok Israel you have everything. Okay? Even a Talmid Chacham, it's good to learn also Chok Israel. Tzarech Amal Pardes Torah. He should finish 4 parts of Torah every day. So he learns Mishnah, he learns Halacha, he knows Chumash. Today we're finishing Bereshit, Vaychi. So we need to ask ourselves a question. From Bereshit until Vaychi, do I know Pirush Rashi? Do I know commentaries on Rashi? That's what we need to know. Shulchan Aruch says, whoever knows Pirush Rashi, Yirat Shamayim. Shtay Mikra Echad Targum, by Friday, and Pirush Rashi. Very important to do Pirush Rashi and understand Rashi. And when he's quoting something, he's quoting according to the Rashi first. Okay? שנאמר, Isaiah, יחזיק במואזי, ואל יחשוב שיגלו לו רזי תורה להיות ריק. תכתיב יהיב בחוכמתה להחכימין. So Isaiah says in 27:5, a person says, no, the Torah, the secrets of Torah are going to come himself by myself. Says, no, the secrets would not come unless we moser nefesh, which just means we give ourselves for secrets of the Torah. Secret Torah is not going to be just 1, 2, 3, okay, I'm learning, I understand it. He has to, not only just the words, he has to feel it, everything that he says. צריך להיזהר שלא יצא בשפתה חוכמה זו שלא ישמע מאדם שראוי לסמוך עליו. הזהירו רשב"י וחבריו. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, make sure you're going to teach these people the Kabbalah properly to the people that needs to be teaching. If a person is not teaching, like you have some people, they learn this, or they're in another world, like you can't even talk to them, right? They're somewhere else. השגת חוכמה, תנאי, ראשון, צריך למעט בדיבורו. He says, you want to understand the chokhmah, the wisdom and knowledge, try to restrict on the speaking. Talmud Omar, lidivre Torah, he says, for Torah. For Torah, we could say as much as we can. For other stuff, try to minimize it. Lishtok ma sheyachol. A person should keep his mouth shut as much as he can. כדי שלא להוציא שיחה בטלה. So he'll now be able to say whatever he wants. כמו שאמרו חז"ל, סייג לחוכמה שתקיע. Says a person wants to be, put us, the Pirkei Avot says, סייג לתורה, סייג לחוכמה. He says, if a person does not understand it, that does not want to understand, he should sit quiet. Okay? גם תנאי אחר, כל דבר תורה שלא תבינו, תבכו עליו מה שתאכל. Oh, this is the punchline my rabbi all the time said. תנאי אחר, another condition. What if a person does not understand whatever we're learning and everything? Do you, all of you, cry for it? No. If you cry for it, you would understand. If you're not going to cry for it, לא הבנה, אין הבנה. I told him many times to my rabbi, I don't understand. He says, I cannot help you. He has to ask ריבונו של עולם, בוכה, צריך לבכות עליו. גם על יד נשמה בלילה עולם העליון, שלא תשעות בהבלי עולם, תלוי שיתשם בבכי. He says, also a person, but Balatanya says very, very interesting stuff. A lot of people will get depressed, whatever he's saying over here. He cries, then he gets depressed. And he says, listen, I learned. No, Pikudei Hashem, Samched should live. So it says the laws of Hashem are supposed to make him happy. If a person depressed, I told this many times in my shurim, if a person depressed and he's learning Torah, he's learning not good Torah. He's learning the goal the Torah against him. If a person is depressed and he's thinking it's a weight for him, he's not learning Torah properly. Why is not learning Torah properly? Torah is not supposed to make you depressed. 7 days of Avilud, we're not allowed to learn Torah. Why? It makes a person happy. So why he's not happy? That means he's not learning properly. What if the rabbi change it? If you're not happy and you're depressed and you cannot associate with people, you basitra akhra, you're in the other side. Person all the time has to be happy when he's learning, because he's learning the words of Hashem. Okay? Continue. Midat atzvut migune ad me'od. Depression is very bad character. בפרט להשיג חוכמה, להשיג, אין לך דבר מונע השגה יותר מזה. Especially, he says, if a person wants to get השגה, which means understanding, גם בעניין השגה, אין לך דבר שמועיל כמו טהרה וטבילה. A person has to be careful, go to mikvah, okay? שיהיה אדם טהור בכל עת. A person has to be clean every time, which means if he has mitzvah with his wife, go to mikvah. It's good to go to mikvah, okay? Like I said it in the Baal Shem Tov name already, if a person does not go to mikvah every day, he does not have an extra neshama upstairs. Just try it for yourself. Right here, Yosef sitting, he says, my shoulder hurt by this. As soon as we taught him the mikvah, he says, this not hurt, I feel different, everything becomes different.
Before them or after?
Before. If a person cannot do it, after. If he cannot do it, at least he does something. And the Baal Shem Tov says the best way is to do it is before. הייתה שהיה יכול לשבר שהקור מזיק לו, כל זה לא ימינו מטבול בכל עד. So Arizal, he used to, even אם הייתה שהיה לחולה, okay, השבר והקור מזיק לו, אם כל זה לא היה מונע מטבול בכל עד. Even the Arizal, he says, sometimes he used to get sick, sometimes we get sick. Oh, Rabbi, I cannot make it. Baba Sali says, Rav Tzadka told me, Baba Sali said, Leolam, he says, never in my life, kor nitzachti. He says the cold would never win on me, right? So no matter what, in what situation they used to go in a mikvah. Okay? Ha'atik marchuzal לבל יפול לב אדם מתעסקה בחוכמה זאת שאמרו בזוהר כל דמן דעיל לא נפיק תבלה דלא אברה. פשוט הדברים נכנס בחוכמה זאת צריך שידע להיכנס לצאת. So he says when a person comes to this חוכמה he needs to go how to enter it and how to come out. אמנם מי רוצה להיכנס ולא יודע לצאת במעשה וארבעה נכנסו לפרדס רבי עקיבא תנו רבנן. Right? You all know this. What's the מסכת? Chagiga, page 14b, Tanu Rabbanan in the bottom, right? It says, Arba'a nichnasu b'pardes. 4 people entered the pardes, Rabbi Akiva, v'chavirav, Elisha ben Avuya. We know what happened. You guys probably heard it from your rabbis. Asig devarav buro'o. אמנם נכנסו ולא השיגו לא יודעת לצאת מתוך הקירה הזאת בשלום. So make sure they're going to come out, enter and come out from the Shalom. Which is, we're not learning this. It's called Maseh Merkava. There's a school, 2 schools. There's many schools. There's the schools of prophets, There's the schools of Ruach HaKodesh. There's the schools of Tikkun. We're only learning Tikkun. We don't do such a thing as meditation, which is me personally. I'm not teaching you right now meditation, which is to take a Sefer Yetzirah. We're learning the meditation. Through meditation, to Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, backwards and forward. And through Shem Hashem, through meditation, you're able to take your Chalukah de Rabbanan, which is you're able to take your soul and enter to the spiritual soul that you create through your mitzvot. Through your mitzvot, you create a vessel for your neshama to go. So that's what we have to do. If we do but we don't learn over here. We don't do what Rabbi Akiva did. We don't go to no Pardesim. We don't do out-of-body experience. It's called in English. So we don't do over here. There's a different classes. It has to be a person many preparation. This is not the time for it. We're just doing what the Arashah says, which is means Olam HaTikun. We're coming to fix whatever the Adam HaRishon did. What Adam HaRishon did, he ochal mi'etz hadat tov v'ra. He ate from the tree, the wisdom, good and bad. And that good and bad is mixed. And each one of us mix with it. We have a good characters, bad characters. We need to take this good out of the bad. The bad, it fits from the good. And we give him the chas v'shalom. A person gives, if he does a sin, he gives him the power and strength. Okay? So it says over here, v'lo yasigu le'edad letzed. B'shalom. זה כפר אלישע אחר. והנה כיסה בפרשה משפטים אמר רבי שמעון, לאל לפיקה. נראה בזה, אסור לעוסק בחוכמה זאת אם לא כבר נכנס בחקירות ויצא בשלום, ולא נשאר בתוכו, okay, מבוכות וספקות. So a person also, whatever the safek he has, okay, just because we don't understand it, it doesn't mean that it does not, safek we cannot מתרץ, which is means to, איך אומרים מתרץ? Answer. נראה לעניות דעתי שאין כוונה כפשוטו. לא ימצא בדור הזה כמו רשב"י, שיעבר לו ספק. He says, we don't have person like a Rashbi. Rashbi, right? Nobody, we don't have Rashbi. Unless you guys ניצוץ of the Rashbi, then it's no problem. אין אם אדם מובטח, אף על פי שיראה לו כמה ספקות דברים תומכים, יאמר בו רק מחיסרון שכלי. So what if a person has a doubt, right? It says the reason he has a doubt because chisaron sichli. He's missing in a knowledge, right? He's missing in a knowledge. Chisaron sichli. אני לא משיג ולא חס ושלום דבר עצמו יש פקפק. יש האיש מצווה ללמוד עמו, שמתוך כך, מתוך שלא לשמה בא לשמה. ואין אסור אלא שמור לו כוח לעמוד בהיכל המלך ויבוא לידי כפירה חס ושלום. He says a person should learn in the beginning for לא לשמה, שלא לשמה, which is means not for the sake of Hashem, so called, and eventually he will learn sake of Hashem. So the question being asked, Or HaChaim HaKadosh has 42, I think, 42 answers on this. And he says, David HaMelech, Achitophel v'Doeg, there were advisors of David HaMelech, the Talmidei Chachamim, the Sanhedrin, and Or HaChaim HaKadosh asking, how come they were not protected? Because in the Torah it says, Torah Magna U'Matzla, Torah is protection. How come they did not protect them from the sin? So if a person learning for his own sake, the Torah would not protect him. Which just means, you could sometimes see Talmid Chacham would fall with the ladies. Or you have bad things happening to him. This from there we learn that he did not do for the sake of, if he would have done for the sake of Hashem, Lishma, even the test will come, like it says Masechet Ketuvot, if I'm not mistaken, page 81, where Rabbi Akiva and over there also brings that the Tanaim, we're talking about Tanaim, we're not talking about over here, me a local somebody so-called. Tanaim, even they want to make a sin from the Shamayim, from the heavens, says, leave him alone, Zaken. Even Tanaim, it fell. Says the lady, they saw the lady and they want to make a sin and everything. Tanaim. Not talking when people call me Rabbi, how come it happened? I don't know why it happened. I don't have a Ruach HaKodesh. You go ask him why it happened. You understand? Let's go forward. So far so good. You have questions?
What does that mean? Just not understanding?
Not understanding, right. Simple is not, just because we don't understand things, right? A rabbi sometimes speaks, it is beyond our understanding, right? It doesn't mean nothing. It's just, we have to cry to Hashem, how come things happening? You understand? Still, I have in a Gemara, I have questions that I still don't understand it. So just because I don't understand it, that means the mind is full of klipa, which just means negativity. That negativity needs to be clean. It does not give us to understand. Okay? אוקיי, הקדמה קיבלתי אני מצעיר רבי חיים ויטל ממורי ורבי נר ישראל בוצינה קדישה, הרב אלוקי חסיד, רבי יצחק לורי אשכנזי. So he says, אני צעיר, Rabbi Chaim Vital was 28 years old, Arizal was 37, and he says, I accept from him all the Kabbalah that I'm telling you. He says, Ner Israel, he's the light of the Jewish nation, Botzina Kadisha, holy Ner, Arav Eloki Chasid Rabbi Yitzchak Luri Ashkenazi, Shilamed Ima Eliyahu Hanavi. He was learning with Eliyahu Hanavi. So everybody have a question. Masechet Yevamot, page 104. Eliyahu Hanavi going to come in right now and he's going to say, you boom, you're going to do the shoe like this? No, listen, since when we're listening to Eliyahu Hanavi? Right? Since when? We don't listen to Eliyahu Hanavi. Black and says, black and white, the Masechet Yevamot 104. Baba Metzia, Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua, Machloket, Lohi Bashamayim, Eliyahu Hanavi is in the heavens. Torah Natna here, Torah was given here. So what Eliyahu Hanavi going to do? Just because Eliyahu Hanavi, that's the Machloket between Shulchan Aruch and Maran Shulchan Aruch with Bet Yosef and Arizal. They say, who's bigger? Right? Each one of you say Maran Shulchan Aruch. That's what Rav Avadia says. Kabbalist says, Arizal is bigger. Says, he had an angel, he has an angel. Maran Bet Yosef had an angel. He has a book, the book called Magid Misharim. He has in English also. He has. We don't know who's big, we don't know who's small. But one thing we have to know, the Arizal did not come here to change the minhagim or everything. He gave us everything seder. Like one of the things that I could bring in halacha, Siman 34, Shulchan Aruch has a problem. He has a safek. What is it? Rashi Rabbeinu Tam. What is it? Sivra. What are you supposed to be have? Tefillin Rashi or Rabbeinu Tam? So it says, M'nipnei safek, you need to wear two, which is one to another. It depends how you're learning the Shulchan Aruch, right? So it says Rashi Rabbeinu Tam. Arizal says, I have no safek. Shnehem divrei Elokim chaim. Shnehem you need to put it at the same time. So this is safek. According to Arizal, we go only halacha in a tefillah. Tefillah, which is means in a prayer, right? That you do lulav in the 6 corners. That's according to Arizal. The way you put a tefillin in the Rashi, you first tie it up, then you put the head. According to Shulchan Aruch, you just say le'anir tefillin, then you need to put the rosh. So many things without realizing, we do a lot of things according to the Arizal, but we say it's in the Shulchan Aruch. No, that's Arizal. So again, if there's because he says Ashkenazi, it does not mean he's an Ashkenazi, he gives the Ashkenazi minhagim. Most of it, he does not come here. He does not come here as an Ashkenazi. For example, if the Chabad right now comes in, he just has the Chabad minhag and he's going to put it on you without you knowing it, right? Because you don't know Shulchan Aruch, unfortunately, he's just going to put it. It doesn't make a difference for him. Litvak, the same thing would do. But Sfaradi, we have to know, we go according to the Shulchan Aruch or what the Arizal says. Okay, a lot of people says that's what it says Arizal. That's why we have Baruch Hashem Rabbi. Can you open it, show to me what it says? No, that's the way the Rebbe says, and the Rebbe that. Okay, so that's a different story already. Okay, that's no. So let's go forward. Lamed el Eliyahu Hanavi. So it says Eliyahu Hanavi only would come here if we have a safekot. Safekot, which just means the doubts. Okay, we have a doubts. That's the Eliyahu Hanavi taught. So this, whatever the lesson that the lecture that we're learning, it's been from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. From Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Akiva taught Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So all the Tanaim did not know Kabbalah. They all knew Kabbalah, right? They all knew. If you're gonna take a look at it, Chelek in a En Dorshim in a Masech Chagiga, he says they used to come out a donkey. They used to make a full of field of through the Mirkava. They used to do Kishuim, which just means the squash, right? Squash or something like that. So they all knew the Kabbalah. They just not revealed. After the Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Arizal comes in and reveals it everything for us. So we have a klal in the Kabbalah. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, it's Mishnah like in Gemara. It's everything Kitzur and a lot of stirot. Stirot, which just means contradiction. Arizal is the Gemara, which just means he teaches everything, pilpul in a Gemara. That's what Arizal does, it's spread all over. In order for us to connect the Gemara of Ashi, right, you take all the Gemara, like people draw the alacha. It says this alacha right here, it says in Gemara, but he didn't get to Masechet Chulin yet, page 7, we're not allowed to draw alacha from the from the Gemara. So he says this alacha, because that's what it says, Rabbi Meir, alacha ke Rabbi Meir. Okay, so Arizal is a Gemara. Okay, We have a Rashash, Rabbi Shalom Sharabi. You have a picture of him over here. Rabbi Shalom Sharabi. Rabbi Shalom, this Chacham Ben Zion Abu Shaul. So, a Rashash is the Shulchan Aruch for us Faradim. No, that's Ben Ish Chai.
No, in that series of...
No, the Rav Moshe Feinstein. This is Rav Eliash, this is Rav Avigdor Miller.
לא פה, eh?
Let's go forward. So Arashash is a Shulchan Aruch. So if we want to learn the Alacha Lemaaseh, we learn from the Arashash. And Sfaradim accepted from Arashash. So the question you need to ask me, how come we have Hasidim, we have Chabad, we have Balatanya, then we have Bobov, right? Where does this come from? Where all these teachers come from? All these teachers come from Baal Shem Tov. Okay? So Baal Shem Tov is only working on what the Arizal already taught. So why you have so many...
So it should be the same.
Rabbi Nachman Breslev, right? You have Chabad. Why you have? Because they say Baal Shem Tov was so big. That's the way my Hasidim students explained to me, because Baal Shem Tov was so big. He says they could not keep one light in one place. That's why you have Rabbi Nachman Breslev. That's why you have a Balatanya. That's why you have the Hasidim, different lakes of the Hasidim. But in a Sfardim, for us, Arashash, we don't have this. We don't have a different groups, sects of Hasidim.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop is Arashash, and that's it. Okay? So whoever is going to come and to say the Baal Shem Tov, listen, I heard it many times. In order for us to get away from the Machloket, we say, Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim chayim, ze kibel Torah mi Sinai. This is the Torah from Sinai. This is everything Torah Baal Peh, so we don't have the Machloket. Now we're going to have a Machloket, you understand? You're going to say this again. Lo yirbe Machloket ba'am Yisrael. As we saw in the Yosef in the Parasha Shavua, with the Yosef, the brothers. Even from there started all this, unfortunately. So we come here to work, to, Be'ezrat Hashem, fulfill the obligation of learning. Thank you very much for listening. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, Be'ezrat Hashem, give us baracha, tzlacha, arbe disiyat dishmayim. We're going to start probably with Shara Akudim, Nikudim, Birudim. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.